Welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets, the corner where we peel back the curtain on the moments that make our favorite stars feel human. Today's topic will tug at your pulse and spark that quiet hope many fans have carried for years. As our headline hinted, we might be standing on the edge of something fans never stopped imagining, a possible reunion between two of the most adored figures in Turkish television, Barış and Elçin Sengu. Before we dive into the details that set the internet ablaze, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our exclusives. Your support keeps our lights on and our sleuthing sharp. So what exactly set off the alarms? What tiny detail has opened a floodgate of memories and questions? The answer is small, circular, and impossible to ignore: a ring. Not just any ring, a matching band on the ring fingers of both Barış and Elçin Sengu. Yes, you heard that right. Images have surfaced showing each of them wearing what appears to be an identical, minimalist wedding-style band. Not flashy, not ostentatious, just a clean, elegant circle of metal that carries more weight than any gemstone could. And with that, social media flipped into overdrive. But to understand the tremor this caused, we need to revisit the story that first made hearts race. Barış and Elçin met on the set of Karalık Aşk, the show that became a global sensation and turned their on-screen pairing into a cultural phenomenon. Their chemistry was electric and unforced, the kind that sparks effortlessly and refuses to dim. The cameras loved them, sure, but so did the street photographers who captured them leaving rehearsals, laughing between takes, sharing easy, private smiles. Their interviews brimmed with professional respect and candid warmth, the kind of dynamic that made fans whisper and wonder. For a while, the public felt certain something more was quietly unfolding between them. Then the tide shifted. Life and work pulled them in different directions. Whatever bond had seemed to be growing off camera, whether it was close friendship, a brief romance, or simply the echo of their characters, appeared to ebb away without an explanation we could point to. For many, that sudden distance left a silence filled with questions. And now, after time, after new projects, after fresh chapters in their lives, those rings have pulled the curtain back again, just a little, and the guessing game has begun anew. Is it mere coincidence? Or is there a story hiding in plain sight? Fans have been analyzing every pixel of the photos, comparing the finish, the thickness, the curve. Stylists and jewelers chimed in to say the silhouette is undeniably similar, a refined, timeless band with no ornamentation, the kind of design that suggests commitment without the need to announce it. Some argue it could be a memento from a shared moment we never knew about. Others whisper that the rings might be a quiet pact, a symbol of solidarity or a bridge to something being rebuilt. The idea that these twin bands might hint at a second chance has sent the internet into a frenzy. Longtime admirers, many who still call themselves Elbar loyalists, are posting side-by-sides, digging up throwback clips from Karalık Aşk, and stitching together theories that read like love letters. Hashtags tied to Elbar and reunion fantasies have climbed trend lists faster than anyone expected. There are threads filled with heartfelt messages: "I knew there was something rare there. I hope they've found their way back. They've always been perfect together." Others are more cautious, urging patience and reminding everyone that rings can carry meanings we don't immediately see. It's worth acknowledging why this matters so much. Barış, with that steady gaze, wry smile, and quiet intensity, became a symbol of strength that feels both classic and contemporary. Elçin, luminous and witty, has a way of making even silence feel like a line worth quoting. Together, they created a blueprint for romance that felt both glamorous and grounded, a match of fire and restraint that millions could root for. When their paths drifted apart, fans were left with memories that felt unfinished. So it's no surprise that the possibility of a reunion, even if only suggested by two understated rings, feels like a celebration waiting for its music. Let's look closer at the message these rings might be sending. They don't scream engagement in the traditional sense. There's no diamond raised high to catch the light. Instead, the power lies in the pairing, two bands, identical in spirit, free of embellishment. It's the kind of choice that speaks to unity rather than display, to simplicity over spectacle. That could mean a lot of things: a promise to stay connected, a private vow, a reminder of a bond that persisted quietly while the world assumed it faded. Or it could be a gesture of mutual support during a time of personal reflection, a nod that only the two of them fully understand. Social media, unsurprisingly, has become a chorus of emotion. There are posts from fans who've waited years to feel this spark again, fans who can quote entire scenes, fans who remember where they were the first time those characters locked eyes. Some write that these rings are proof that if something is real, it doesn't vanish. Others say that even if the bands are symbolic of friendship, the story they tell is still beautiful, about respect, about gratitude, about how two people can remain important to each other no matter where the script takes them. But it's also necessary to be careful. In this industry, small details can swell into myths overnight. We've seen rumors climb the ladder from whisper to headline in the span of an afternoon. And yet, timing matters. These sightings come at a moment when both are being watched closely. Their schedules are packed, their influence is wide, and their every move is parsed for meaning. That's precisely what makes the matching rings feel like a detail too striking to shrug off, an unmissable echo that's hard to chalk up to chance. The Turkish media has already taken notice, reporting with curiosity rather than certainty. Some outlets hint at quiet meetups away from cameras. Others describe familiar faces in familiar neighborhoods, the kind of sightings that don't come with photos but have a way of finding their way into our feeds. And while nothing is confirmed, the conversation is undeniably alive. Could Barış and Elçin be reconnecting, step by careful step, testing the waters before any grand declarations? There's also the professional angle. Both are at the top of their game, with projects that stretch their range and captivate audiences beyond borders. A reconciliation, if that's what this is, wouldn't just be personal news. It would bend the arc of entertainment coverage for weeks, maybe months. Imagine the campaign shoots, the magazine covers, the talk show couches where the smiles say more than the words. Imagine the wave of proposals for joint projects, scripts written with only these two in mind, stories crafted to reignite what made their pairing magnetic in the first place. It might also mean that past hurdles have been met with maturity and care. Perhaps there were long conversations, the kind that don't fit neatly into headlines. Perhaps there was acknowledgement of what didn't work before, and an agreement to try again with clearer eyes and steadier hands. Maybe those rings are less about the past and more about a future written quietly, one day at a time, with no need to rush toward labels or announcements. It's a romantic idea, yes, but sometimes the simplest symbols carry the most persuasive poetry. Pop culture watchers are already debating the ripple effect this would have on Turkish show business. A new joint endeavor could dominate ratings and shape trends for a year. Or maybe there won't be a project at all. Maybe the power of this moment is that it solely belongs to them. Either way, the energy around Barış and Elçin is undeniable, and any step they take, together or separately, now arrives with amplified meaning. That's the gravity of a connection that never quite left the room. We also want to say, as storytellers who live for these moments, how thrilling it is to follow a narrative that balances mystery with heart. The matching rings are a quiet detail, but they've opened a door to feelings and memories audiences never really packed away. Whether the bands are personal vows, shared tokens, or simply parallel choices born of similar taste, they've reminded everyone what made this duo so special, a bond that felt authentic. And sometimes, authenticity is louder than any declaration. For now, we wait. We pay attention. We listen for an interview clip that lingers on a carefully chosen word, for a caption that sounds like a whisper between the lines, for a photograph that catches a glance that feels like yesterday. Maybe we'll get a statement from Barış Arduç or Elçin Senga that clears the haze, or maybe they'll let the ring speak for a while longer. In an age obsessed with immediacy, there's something unexpectedly romantic about a slow reveal. What's certain is the reaction. The feeds lit up. The trend bars climbed. Old scenes were replayed like favorite songs. Timelines filled with edits, tributes, collages of soft looks and near smiles. There's joy in the not knowing, too, in the dance of possibility. And even if all this leads to nothing more than a reminder of how deeply these two resonated together, it's still a gift. The hope feels good. The hope feels earned. To wrap it up, The sight of Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu wearing what look like identical wedding-style bands has sent the fandom into a frenzy and sparked talk of a long-hoped-for reconciliation. The symbolism of such a quiet, deliberate accessory, especially given their history and the enormity of their legacy, has revived dreams of a second chance. Could this be confirmation that they've bridged old gaps? Could it be a promise to each other that we're not meant to decode? Time will tell. Until then, the moment belongs to the fans and the memories, to the ship names and the slow scroll through comments, to the hum that says maybe. We want to hear from you. Do you think those rings are a private vow, a creative choice, or a sign that something tender has found its way back? Would you welcome a reunion, whether on-screen, off-screen, or both? Tell us what your heart says in the comments. And if this story tugged at the part of you that still believes in timing, give this video a like, share it with the friends who know every scene by heart, and make sure you're subscribed to Turkish Spotlight Secrets so you don't miss a single beat. We'll be watching with you, frame by frame, until the next surprise arrives.